today we're going to talk about a very interesting topic is, do American people need to buy the house before they get married?
It's a very interesting topic, Cathy. Now, I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a need, but I think it's definitely in the American culture, take one step at a time. For example, marriage is a very big commitment as well as a home.
If the kids are getting married in a rental house, would they care?
Now, for example, I have a handful of family as well that got married, they stayed in a rental building, and in a few years when they were both ready, they made the commitment to then move into a home.
And I also heard that American culture, if you go on a date, people split the bill, or usually the guy will pay for the girl?
Typically on the first date, it's the guy's responsibility. You want to treat, you want to wine, you want to dine. And then you get in a relationship, things go well, and it goes a little tit for tat in a lot of different ways. But it's really situation by situation.
In Chinese culture, usually when we want to get married, usually we will buy the house together, or the guy will buy the house for the girl to show the commitment. So that's very different, right? And usually on a date, that is always, in our culture, it's more like the guy will cover the bill as well. So it's not.
It could happen if you're on a very bad date.
What do you mean?
For example, if you asked her to split the bill, typically that's an example of a very bad date.
Oh, you don't want to hang out with her anymore. Correct. If you split the bill.
Correct. She won't want to hang out with you.
True. That they both like saying bye to each other.
Basically. Right. Because that means you're cheap. That means you're not selfless, and it means you don't want to spend. I have another question. Talking about cheap. Yes.
What would you consider as a cheap date? Because first in America, I start to date someone that someone asked me out for the coffee. That's not normal in the Chinese culture. People won't ask me for the coffee. They at least treat you with dinner or something like that.
Coffee is a very low investment for time. It's in the morning. It can be very casual, and in a lot of ways you get to know the other person a lot better, because for a dinner, for dance, music, drinks, you can invest a few hours with that person, and you might be 30 minutes in and say to yourself, wow, I don't really like this person. But coffee's a little more casual. It's 30 minutes.
Is it normal?
No.
For the first day?
No. Typically dinner.
Typical dinner?
Dinner, drinks, maybe dancing if it goes well.
If not, just go back home.
Let's just go back home, pretend it never happened.
And I would like to ask, the last question is, how long would typically American people to have an official relationship? Because you probably go on a date a couple of times. What the timeline looks like?
Timeline is different for everyone. It could be a week, it could be a month, but in general, I would say maybe around a month to two of seeing before you really want to take that step, because it gets to a point where if you're seeing someone for around a month or so, you've invested so much time in them, it makes just logical sense to keep doing that and then put a label on it as a relationship.
Cool.